am a target, victim, and activist concerning the continued criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. I'm making this video today in order to inform fellow targeted individuals who might not be aware yet pertaining to the details of this video and to the general public. And you don't have to be an American to pay attention to what I'm going to state in this video. Now, if you've never heard of gang stalking, you'll obviously probably have never heard of any of the statements that I'm going to describe in this video. So understand this. This crime is all over the internet. It's all over Google. It's all over YouTube. This crime has been covered on national radio shows and local news broadcasts, including national radio shows that I have been on myself. The national radio shows, the majority of them that I have been on, are incorporated in my blog as links that you can press on in order to listen to them, in order to hear what I expose, and the show itself. My blog you can get to by going to my Twitter account. Now, I pasted a tweet link from my Twitter account in the title of this Periscope video. When you write down the characters of that URL address, okay, that is incorporated within the title of this Periscope video, then type them in at your URL address bar in order to bring the tweet up. You can then go into the profile of the account and then look at the blog by clicking on it. And you'll see the shows because I introduced them. Now, in reference to the actual tweet, hold on. Alright, now in reference to the actual tweet that I incorporated within the title of this Periscope video, it holds information. And I'm going to move forward in a minute and talk to you about what this video is about and what is in the tweet. Excuse me, please. But before I do that, as a result of me being an organized stalking, gang stalking target, okay, I cannot get any help at all whatsoever from any government office, any law enforcement level, district attorneys, state attorneys, prosecutors, law enforcement, police. All these descriptions can be cross-referenced to gang stalking. Okay, remember what I said. In order for you to see the truth pertaining to what I am exposing in this video is to take what I state, the descriptions of what I state, and research them by cross-referencing the descriptions to gang stalking and then in separate searches to organized stalking. Before I segue into the subject matter of this video, I'm going to have to make some predictions because this is one of the strategies that I utilize in order to not only prove that this criminality is occurring towards me, but to also try and keep it at bay from directly physically coming towards me. So if anybody claims they heard me, saw me, or saw my property, concerning where I'm at now, it'll be directly connected to gang stalking because gang stalking victims are GPS tracked in real time at all times. Before I started making this video, I made statements in my tape recorder about anybody trying to claim that they heard me, saw my property on this property as I'm making the video. And within seconds of me starting this video, people are now congregating around me on the other side of this where I'm at. Okay? Now, in gang stalking crimes, they'll disguise what they're doing by trying to make it appear that they're in the area through normal apparent excuses, reasons, and mishaps. Bicyclists, joggers, people doing community work like picking up litter, property owners magically all of a sudden coming on the property, kids, you can Google children and gang stalking. That's how bad this is. Now the stalking of gang stalking is illegal GPS tracking and covert physical surveillance. The gang of gang stalking is where they, as a result of you being GPS tracked and subjected to covert physical surveillance, you are then set up to be harassed and set up for staged events where they will play out verbal and physical theatrics towards you in order to bring about a result and then to monopolize on the effects of the results. And this includes assaults, arrests, tickets, robberies, being forced off properties. They made me homeless in Michigan, and that was one of the main reasons why I came to San Diego. So remember what I said. You can Google all the descriptions of the techniques that they use and all the other descriptions that I state in this video to gang stalking. Now, the community-based harassment that is attached to the harassment of gang stalking crimes, okay, is achieved through, but not limited to, the individuals that are responsible for this criminal reality duping community members to do things against the victim as a result of the lies they're told and the power position that's telling them to do it, and or how their circle of friends have been infiltrated. So you can always go to Google and type in social infiltration and gang stalking, and you can also go to YouTube and type in listen to a stranger to see how easy it is to dupe anybody to do anything against a person that they do not know. That's an excellent video to give you a preliminary introduction into how gang stalking can be, certain aspects of gang stalking can be achieved towards victims of this crime. Slander is another thing for you to look up. Fake bogus criminal investigation files concerning the target are created. Those fake bogus criminal investigation files are then combined with a badge, real or not, actually both, and then a sophisticated lie. And this is how they can approach community members to do things towards a victim. Okay, absolutely. Staged events are brought about in order to brought about physically against the target in order to produce a result. Okay, and then effects from the results. So those effects and results can be monopolized on, and that includes through the police, courts, prosecutors, public defenders, DA's office. It's organized crime in a system, baby, case that's perpetrating these criminal realities. I already know it for a fact because I've been a victim of this crime openly now since 2002, every single day in 4 states. Interstate stalking is all over the internet to be directly connected to this crime because it's organized crime in the system, a nationwide syndicate. Plus, this crime is also going on in other countries. So remember what I said. The most important thing that you can do to discover what is happening, just to discover through your research, is to research my statements. Okay? If anybody at any time leaves negative comments on this post, or comments like, what are you talking about, or what are you exposing, don't leave comments on this Periscope video, because for one, fellow American citizens, I'm absolutely being trolled online. I'm being trolled through the gang stalking crimes. Okay, they leave negative comments on my YouTube channel, on my Periscope account, videos, and they'll also make statements that don't look like they're harassing. Like, what are you exposing? It's gaslighting. I'm talking, therefore I am exposing through my talking. So why leave a post like that on my videos? Okay. It's their way to try and psychologically undermine your thinking about what you're doing. So just ignore all of it. Okay? Just ignore every single negative comment that you see on my. I don't even look at any of them. Not any of them, the good ones or the bad ones. So you can also research cyberbullying and gang stalking as well. So, fellow American citizens, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm not going to. Now you can also go into my other videos dedicated to this account in order to be able to see other things that I've exposed concerning this crime, and you better do it. Absolutely, because this extreme, heinous criminality, this is the biggest crime that's being exposed all over the internet. In other words, it's the main crime that is being exposed online. Okay? Let's see, what else was I going to say before I segue into the subject matter? 70% of victims are women. Human trafficking is absolutely and completely directly connected to this crime, and law enforcement is connected to every bit of it. And that includes judges and prosecutors. Make no mistake about it. Because in order to steer a target individual, in order to produce effects and results, destitution, financial loss, okay? So those effects from those, see, when you create a circumstance like homelessness, the homelessness is then monopolized on by these filthy maggots by tracking you to wooded areas because they know everybody's got to sleep, right? So they wait until you get to a wooded area, and then they'll start propping up the harassment around you so you can't see them, but you hear them, right? Then periodically throughout it, they'll stage an event directly towards you by using homeless people, social deviants, punks, criminals, dupe community members, even kids, okay? And they can be used as a staged probable cause, a buffer between the target and the police. Now, the police are used for falsified police reports, incident reports, and information sheets. And they are accumulated over time as a result of the periodic repeated events that are brought about against the target over the years. They can come after you and get a hold of you in 6 months or wait for years. Okay? One of the main goals in gang stalking is legal probate control by trying to claim the target's a threat to themselves or others, mentally ill, and or cannot take care of themselves because they're homeless and won't get out of it. Even though the gang stalking created the homelessness, the victim has complained to the police about every bit of what's happening to them, and the police completely ignore every single bit of it but yet will turn around and file falsified police reports about the target. I already know for a fact. Absolutely. I can look you straight in the eye. And the police are all over the internet to be directly connected to this crime, exposed by thousands of victims all over the internet. That's no accident. Now, in order to get illegal probate control so the target can be treated like a straw person for federal, state, and local funds once they're put in a group home by claiming that they're mentally ill, a threat to themselves or others, or can't take care of themselves, okay, they'll claim that you're a threat to yourself or others as a result of a staged event, okay? And then when they stage an event, they'll stage the witnesses. So when the cops are called by anybody, including the target, the cop will come out and he'll play his little filthy, lying, criminal-ass role. And he'll say, well, all these people are saying that you were the problem and that you were violent. So they make a falsified police report about it. And then they stage these events over time so they can take the documentation and present it before court after a staged event. And it's that documentation, the judges, the prosecutors, and the falsified documentation is used to get the probate control so the target can be treated like a straw person for federal and state funds inside a syndicated run, organized crime group home that is directly connected to the gang stalking of the target. The target's insurance is also exploited because the gang stalking continues in these homes against the target. Absolutely, absolutely. And then the target is provoked to act out, and even if the target doesn't act out, they'll accuse the target of acting out and then petition them into a hospital psychiatric ward. So the insurance can be built. The target is also drugged and raped in these homes, and the rapes are videotaped and sold to pornography groups, while the target is left eating bologna sandwiches and harassed every day and constantly concerned about what's going to happen to them each and every day, every minute of each day. Torture. So that right there should tell you right now that the only thing that this is about is money. Money and exploitation for it and the containment of the exposure concerning it. Make no mistake about it. My name is Leslie Williams. I strongly suggest you go to my blog. Okay. Now, this video doesn't get transmitted. I am taping my statements right now on my tape recorder. So I can prove that I was making a video and that I predicted that this might occur because it has occurred. Now, and this is done for many reasons. You can go to Google and type in how they'll hack into your email accounts, blog accounts, phones, okay? You name it. Anything electronic they can hack into, which I'm also going to additionally expose other things concerning that in a second here. Now, fellow American citizens, what is this video about in reference to why I made it? Okay, in organized stalking criminal expeditions, one of the main things that they'll do against the target is torture a target, because human experimentation is another criminal motivation of this crime. Hear me out. Remember what I said. Everything can be Googled when you get done watching this, and when appropriate, YouTube. Okay, just trust me. Now, gang stalking is about money. It's about exploitation for money, the control of it, so the crime can continue, and the protection of the exposure concerning it. Okay? Make no mistake about it. It's the only thing that's about. This crime is connected to hundreds and hundreds of criminal motivations. Every crime that you can think of, they are involved in. Every crime. Every crime. Including snuff films and life insurance fraud. Absolutely, absolutely. Make no mistake about it. So, you can go to Google as well and type in non-consensual human experimentation and gang stalking, including military. And when you research that, you're going to absolutely conclude that torture is involved. And here's the last thing I'm going to state before I segue into the subject matter of this particular video. The Jesse Ventura show that was titled The Brain Invaders, which is on YouTube right now that you can watch by YouTubing that title, is about gang stalking. The directed energy weapons and the V2K transmissions, which are voice-to-skull transmissions pertaining to the victims in that show. When you watch it and bring it up through YouTube, you're going to see individuals claiming that they're hearing things. That's voice-to-skull transmissions. The acronym for that is V2K, the abbreviation for it. The individuals that are being, where they state that they're feeling electricity in their bodies, that's directed energy weapons. Okay? The individuals that are the victims in this show are called target individuals, TIs. Okay? Target individuals is another name for gang stalking victims, which is all over the internet. Google that as well. So I think that we can conclude that this crime has been marginally covered on national radio shows, national TV shows, and local news broadcasts. Okay? So, and then when you look at the fact that there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of victims all over the internet begging for help and not one of them getting any help whatsoever from the government, I think we can conclude that this crime is factually occurring and that absolutely being protected in order to allow it to continue. You understand what I'm telling you? So you better research this. And one of the main reasons why you better research this is because this crime is so cleverly executed that it can be happening literally right underneath your nose in any environment. And it's occurring in every single neighborhood, in every single town, city, county, and state in the United States, literally, and it's occurring in other countries as well. So I strongly suggest you extensively research gang stalking, including the sensitization methods that gang stalking victims are subjected to daily, every day. It's one of the main harassment techniques that gang stalking victims endure every day. And when I say research gang stalking sensitization methods, I mean research it for at least 2 weeks in a row, and that means every single minute of every single hour that encompasses a 2-week period. You better research this crime. Hold on a minute. Okay. Now, in gang stalking crimes, one of the technologies that is used against in reference to it being a identified technology that is being used on gang stalking victims is called remote neural monitoring. Hold on a second. Now, remember, every description can be Googled, okay? And when you see the massive amounts of stuff that comes up from all my descriptions, you're gonna think to yourself, damn, how did I not know about this? You didn't know about it because gang stalking is not an average everyday word or phrase that you hear in the community or at school or at businesses or at libraries or at work. So if you don't know the name of something or the name of a crime, how are you going to look it up to even become aware that it is a crime, that it exists, right? And that's one of the main reasons why victims of this crime suffer some of the most heinous criminalities, okay, before discovering what is happening to them, because gang stalking is extremely psychologically disorientating. It's meant to be so, okay? Absolutely. That's why when you research sensitization methods in gang stalking, the direct conversation method in gang stalking, gaslighting in gang stalking, you can clearly see that these are intentional psychological operations that are being intentionally, with complete malice of thought, forethought applied. You understand? Okay? Which massively involves conspiracy at the felony level. Now, fellow American citizens, what is the subject matter of this particular video? Now, if it at any time in this video abruptly stops for any reason, still research what I've stated so far because my phone is hacked. Absolutely. So, what I incorporated within the title of this Periscope video is a tweet link from my Twitter account. Copy down the characters of it by writing them down and then typing them in at your URL address bar to bring the tweet up so you can see what's in it. What I exposed within it is a, let's see if I remember correctly, it's been a little while since I composed that tweet. 2 snap screenshots, okay, and I'll get to those in a second. One is a video about remote neural monitoring. The other video is a video from United Targeted Individuals Europe, the extended version video, okay, and then a blog, a news article from BBC, okay, about how the Target store's intercoms were hacked into and how pornographic sounds were projected throughout the store because of it. And you'll understand why. That's what the 2 snap screenshots are about as well. And you'll understand why I'm incorporating that within this video once you continue to hear me speak concerning the subject matter. Now, when you look, I'm going to start out with, pertaining to this point, okay, about the subject matter, I'm going to start out with by talking to you about what's in the United Targeted Individuals Europe video. Now, this crime, as I've already mentioned, in other countries on a massive scale. There's victims all over the world, all over the internet, begging for help and cannot get one bit of help from their dedicated governments or intelligence communities as well. The governments are nothing but a bunch of lying, organized crime. That's all they are. It's all they'll ever be, period. Okay? Understand, and you better. And I think you'll get a sniff of it when you research what I say. Okay? Absolutely, absolutely. So let me find my lighter so I can light my cigarette, and then I'm going to move forward here. Now, the YouTube video that's in the tweet link that I put in the title of this Periscope video, one of them is the United Targeted Individuals Europe extended version, which is the title of that YouTube video. It's about gang stalking. It's about the non-consensual human experimentation happening to gang stalking. But within that video, you're going to notice a very small part of it where it appears that a woman, where it says it on the screen, she just woke up. Okay. Now, this is in reference to how a person is exposing what they're hearing as soon as they wake up through the method of voice to skull, which is which are electronic transmissions that are being transmitted into that person's skull, done through a computer and through physical human beings as well. Now, this is all over the internet. It's been exposed on national radio shows, including the national radio shows that I've been on, but I wasn't on that particular show. I'm referring to the 904 2015 Ground Zero show with Clyde Lewis. That link is incorporated within my blog as well. The title of the show is V2K. Okay, so basically, what remote neural monitoring is it's a technology. So basically, what remote neural monitoring is, it's a technology. Okay, and it's a technology that is incorporated within the mainframe computer. Now, this was exposed by Daniel Escalon on the 0205 2014 show with Ground Zero that I was on. That link is incorporated within my blog as well. Daniel Escalon's all over the internet, exposing remote neural monitoring. He's probably even exposed in his book, The Deconstruction of Humanity. He's a well-known activist. Okay. He was on the show that night. I called it up. I talked to him about the Blue Brain Project. He said he never heard of it. He said, how did you find this term? I told him I was looking up mind uploading, mind hacking, and mind transference technology at Google, and he said, no, it's not called the Blue Brain Project. It's called remote neural monitoring. And then he went on to describe some of the functionalities of it. Now, so that show's link is in my blog as well. It's the 0205 2014 show with Daniel Escalon and Clyde Lewis. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because remote neural monitoring and V2K, voice to skull, and ultrasonic sound transmissions, and the microwave hearing effect, all of these separate technologies have been incorporated to work together and put in one mainframe in order to use these combined functions of each of these technologies to work together with the remote neural monitoring. So hear me out. Now, so within that video, the United Targeted Individuals Europe extended version, which is the title of the YouTube video, when you bring that up at YouTube, watch for that part in that video where it says shh on the screen, she just woke up. Okay, and then I think it makes a couple other statements real fast. Now, the reason why I decided to bring this up to you as well is because when the target individual is subjected to this technology, they are harassed through voice-to-skull transmissions non-stop every day. Non-stop. So I'm going to give you an example about how torturous this campaign can be. And Robert Duncan is also all over the internet exposing this at YouTube. So you can go to YouTube and type in CIA Robert Duncan interview with Tyrone Dew, and look for that interview that's the longest. It's about 43 minutes. He talks about V2K, and so does Brian too. I want you to think about this for a minute. Excuse me. Say if you took a tape recorder, and see if you had a software program where you would type in, okay, let's just say like a bunch of negative messages that were 5 minutes long. Okay, a bunch of different negative messages that were 5 minutes long. And then you use your computer software program to set it up to where these negative messages can be looped. So at the beginning of the 5 minutes of these, the whole 5 minutes is nothing but a negative statements. negative, demeaning, even sexual harassing statements. 5 minutes long of non-stop negative statements, okay, that are designed to psychologically undermine the target's thinking about the target themselves, and abuse, victimization, uh, criticizing. I mean, nothing but non-stop abuse and negativity. 5 minutes of nothing but non-stop negative statements. Okay, if you were to do that and do that like say into a tape recorder, okay, and then if you had a software program where you could take those 5 minutes of negative statements and then use the computer software to loop it, so that means that when it gets to the end of the 5 minutes, it would start over again, and the 5 minutes would be repeated. Okay, then when it gets to the end of the 5 minutes again, it would start up and start over again. Well, that's exactly what they're doing to gang stalking victims. They're literally using what is known as the computer-to-brain link and the computer-to-brain feedback loop incorporated within the voice-to-skull to send non-stop, repetitive, recycled, most of the time identical, repeated verbal abuse into the target's audio cortex. Oh. Now, this is all over the internet. They're doing this to victims. All over the internet. I want you to hear me out. Hear me out. That's why I incorporated within this, in the tweet link that's in the title of this Periscope video, that YouTube video concerning United Target Individuals Europe.com, because I wanted you to be able to see that a woman is literally flat out showing that it's literally being it doesn't last very long in reference to the presentation of it, but it literally shows that a woman is being subjected to voice to skull, and the voice to skull script says she just woke up. Now, this is because when a gang stalking victim is sleeping, the remote neural monitoring is monitoring their brainwaves. That's all over the internet as well. This technology can induce sleep, and it can keep you up. Google that as well. Just do what I tell you to do. I know this sounds bizarre, trust me, but just do what I tell you to do. Because remote neural monitoring is about monitoring you neurally, remotely, as a result of them having identified the biomagnetic resonance field of your brain. It's all over the internet at Google and YouTube. Okay? Yeah. So, what I've exposed so far. Now, that technique of there was a older CIA doctor called, his name was Dr. Irwin Cameron. He's been exposed on national radio shows concerning this crime. He was an older CIA scientist for Canada and America. He used to be the head of the American psychiatric system back in the 60s. He was involved in massive crimes against humanity, including human experimentation, and he was also directly connected to the MK Ultra crimes. Yeah, hear me out. You could probably find this if you extensively Google and YouTube it concerning Dr. Irwin Cameron. He used to take people that were in the hospitals, including people who were illegally and criminally put in the hospital, through corrupt cops, probably through gang stalking. And what he would do is the doctors play a huge role in this crime. They're all over the internet. Psychiatrists, psychologists, private and through the courts. Okay. They would take patients and put them on tables and put headphones on them. Okay. And then Dr. Irwin Cameron would turn on a tape recorder, and the tape recorder would be nothing but recycled, repetitive statements over and over and over again. This was done to try to repatternize the brain, neural pathways. Now, I want you to do me a favor when you get done watching this as well. You heard what I just stated pertaining to the computer-to-brain link, remote neural monitoring, and how V2K is being used for it, right? So, couple that with the fact that three actually. When you get done watching this video pertaining to this section of this video, go to Google and type in ear implants and gang stalking, which are put right behind the ear. Everything you hear goes to your audio cortex. The ear implants run by a radio signal. So is that another avenue for transmitting this dialogue? Sets it so the target's brain hears it nonstop. Okay? You can also go to Google and research this. Why is it all over the internet that part of the massive crimes of physical gang stalking, where actual physical people are involved in the crime, is where physical people are told to get around the target all day long, every day, non-stop, everywhere the target goes, to repeat identical words and phrases every day, no matter where the target goes. Google that. Now, when you research how B2K transmissions, just type in at Google, voice to skull, repeated transmissions, or repeated harassment, and look at what comes up. Research extensively. Then go to Google and type in GangStalking, repeating words and phrases, community harassment. Do you really think that's an accident? Okay. How can a technology that the government will never admit that it's being used, especially in the ways that it's being used now, how can you have thousands of victims stating that they're hearing repeated harassment through B2K, and also that it's also all over the internet that targets of gang stalking are being subjected to harassment by physical people along their routes who are repeating not only words and phrases, but identical words and phrases every day? Now, can you imagine living through this? I want you to think about what I'm telling you. You can put a tape recorder up to your ear with non-stop abusive statements on it and be forced to have it in your ear non-stop all day long. And that's not including how they'll switch and play music in your head. Okay? Then you can also research how gang stalking victims are being harassed through remote neural monitoring and B2K about their own thoughts, which are your subvocal speech. Just Google it. Okay? It's done to psychologically disorientate the victim about how they can be perceiving these things. Because when you first become a gang stalking victim, you don't know that you're being gang stalked, and you don't know about any of this technology. It's torture. And that's not including the directed energy weapons targets are experiencing. So, why is it, let me give you an example of how prevalent gang stalking is. Why is it that you can go to Google and type in the name of any 10 businesses, well-known businesses, as an example? I'm not implying or stating they're involved in it, okay? But, because I'm going to leave these decisions up to you. Why is it that you can go to Google and type in the name of any 10 well-known businesses like McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, Sears, Macy's, Kroger's, Ralph's, Home Depot, Sports Authority, and gang stalking? Type in the name of any 10 or 15 well-known businesses that are all over the United States that are known by everybody, okay, to gang stalking, and look at what comes up. Then take those same 10 names and type them into, okay, gang stalking to 5 different states, and look at what comes up. You understand? Hold on. Okay, so, and the reason why I brought that up is because I wanted you to be able to see that gang stalking is absolutely and completely going on in businesses. Hold on. Okay, so I don't know if I'm in video or not because the phone is being screwed around with. Okay.